Okay, I'm just putting the link in. Alright, I believe we are live. Just give me 2 seconds. Any early birds here? I just need to put the link into the Discord server, which shouldn't take super long. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna be Shane versus Nugglei, winners bracket final. Okay, welcome everybody. We have a very entertaining match this evening between somebody just, I believe, bought Snowy Slopes. But anyways, sorry for getting sidetracked. We have a very interesting match this evening, a winners bracket final of this tournament between Noah. Oh my god, my brain is just fogged. Between Shane and John. This is a very interesting match because whoever wins this match will be advancing to the winners bracket final, and we have two of the best tournament players. On one end, we have Shane. Shane came into this tournament as the 15th seed. There weren't really, honestly, guys, there weren't really high expectations around him because of his call results alone. He got through a really tough first match with Shane. My brain is just, I'm mixing up words, guys. I'm getting tongue-tied. He went through a very tough match in the first round against Mao Messiah. He then went through another 3-2 victory against NHL. And then he took out Rube in a more decisive 3-1 victory, 3.5 to 1.5, I believe. And now he's in the winners bracket final. So it was a very unexpected run to the final. I think Shane was definitely the black horse of this tournament, the dark horse, the wild card, if you want to even call it that. Because not that many people really expect him to make it this far. And on the other hand, you obviously have the GOAT himself. You have John or Nugglei or Demon MP7. He goes by many names. John obviously very expected to get to this stage. I think not making it to this stage would have been a surprise. John is an incredible player. He's the current champ in both skip and skipless, and he has been so for some while. So we have a very interesting match on our table. Because on one end, you have the dark horse and nobody really expected to go that far, who's also happens to be playing on mobile, by the way, so giving mobile some representation. And then on the other end, you do have, obviously, the more orthodox, conventional pick, which is the GOAT himself. So it's going to be really interesting to see who takes this map. We do have, I would say, a skipless favored map lineup here, as I check. I do believe it's more skipless oriented. Obviously, there are a few maps in there that are surprising, such as Shipwreck, but the first 3 maps, even Crystal Mine, sort of plays like a skipless map. I am unsure if both competitors have agreed to play skip or skipless. Not even John seemed a bit ambiguous about that. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a skipless 1v1 or for skip 1v1. If it is skip, I do favor John somewhat. But Shane was talking about having a few tricks up his sleeve before the match. So let's see if Shane can pull any surprises here as we head into round 1. Both competitors did fumble a bit in practice. However, I do believe that, as the match draws out, some practice irregularities will sharpen a bit. So let's see in round 1 who will break away early on Snowy Slopes. Obviously, Shane has a bit more start lag than John, but not too noticeable. So thankfully, lag won't be super impactful in this match, at least for IGT. Oh, and John breaks ahead here. He does have the better lines. Let's see if maybe Shane can clutch up on this corner. And John, but honestly, Snowy Slopes is one of those maps where John only gained a little bit of ground. I could still see Shane with a better ending here, tying John in IGT. And John misses, and Shane gets a 36.1. I don't know if that was bad end lag or if he got a terrible ending, but either way, John just DNFs. Very surprising. Perhaps a little bit of pressure, honestly, because he wasn't doing that great in practice either. That's a huge surprise from John. He was ahead there as well. That might first round of the match, that can do like some mental damage to you. You know what I mean? Like that can like mentally impact you. So let's see if John is able to overcome that hurdle, because the first match is so critical to your mentality. first round, I should say. And Shane! They trade mistakes. Shane DNFs. And I do believe John is inputting scores. And yeah, John is inputting scores. So thankfully, we will be able to keep track of the IGC standings. But wow, what a surprise. What a surprise. And John for 35.9. So John overcomes that deficit on round 2 that he initially suffered. So that is some mental recovery from John here. But really, both of them, this just isn't the starts that they really want. I mean, Snowy Slopes isn't that complex of a map. It's just 3 straight lines and a few corners. It's probably the most boring map of this match. So, I mean, if they're making mistakes on the most simple map, what's gonna happen when it comes to Shipwrecked or Crystal Mine? That's the real question mark here. Oh, sorry. I thought John fell there. False alarm, guys. Oh, wow. Shane did stumble there, though. That's not what we want to be seeing for Shane. $35.9 from John. So, John will be breaking ahead here in IGT now with 2 45.9s. Honestly, unless John falters here, it does look a little bit likely they will take this map. But if Shane is able to get a few 35.9s, it could be a tie. And of course, you have to keep in mind, Shane still has a slight ping disadvantage, so we do have to check touches. It could very well come down to that as well. So there's a lot of different factors at play, especially when a map as simple as this. You know, every bit of lag counts. Again, the false flag. I don't know, just the perspective. It makes it look like John's falling on that corner, but it's just me being schizophrenic. Yeah, I don't know. John definitely breaks ahead here quite a bit, and it's but both of them with 35.9s. Honestly, that could have been, because Shane was able to 0.9 there, that could have been a 0.8 from John without end lag. So I do favor John on this map so far, just based on what I'm seeing. But it could still be a tie. I'm not ruling that out, especially if Shane is able to get a 0.8 touch here himself. It could change everything. I believe both of these guys are world record holders on this map. So that is definitely an indicator that Shane's capable of tying John here. John does mess up on that corner this time. And Shane's on a great run here. If Shane can just finish this out, that could make all the difference. And also, do keep in mind, John did have 2 DNFs, which means that he is going to be counting his initial, I believe, poor run. I believe it was round 2 that was a little bit poor. So honestly, Shane could be breaking ahead here just based on John's one bad run. As we head into round 2, which I believe is Crystal Mine. So this is very interesting. Now, this is a skip map, but in all fairness, Crystal Mine skip does play like a little bit of a skipless map as well. It's more skipless than a skip. And not only that, I'm unsure if they've agreed to skipless or skip here, so I could just be rambling about nothing. Crystal could be... I would like to see Crystal going for, honestly. It is an entertaining route, but they might be opting for skipless here just based on the avatars. Just based on Shane's avatar, at least. Shane, please AFK. Shane. No, Shane AFK's here. It'd be fine. Okay, nah, it's fine. Okay, here we go. Practice 1 for John and Shane on this map. Shane is going for skipless, so I guess that is confirmation that this is a skipless match. However, oh my god, why is my storage going down here? I don't believe I'm recording. This might be an issue if it gets low. I might have to delete something midstream. But no, I mean, yeah, so both of them will be going skipless. However, I do want to note that I don't believe it was officially agreed upon that they're doing skipless, and Shane was talking about a few tricks up his sleeve, so there is a chance maybe Shane could be cheap and go for skip on like round 5 or something. It is a possibility. I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist here, but I mean, I wouldn't put it behind Shane to attempt something like that if you're playing against the GO. I mean, you really do have the grasp at everything when you're playing somebody like John. So just something to keep an eye out on. But also, I think there was honestly a good chance that Shane took Snowy, because even though John had the better IGT touches, you know, he did DNF twice. So I believe one of his runs wasn't a 0.9. I think that one was a good bit, like, I want to say worse than his 0.9's IGT. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shane took Snowy, honestly. Oh, Shane falters here a bit. But it is practice, so it's too early to tell anything. It's 24.5 from John. Back in the day, I did hold skipless world record myself here. I think I was hitting times like that, if I remember right. But interesting decision from Shane not to finish out the full practice. Sorry about that. As we head into round 1 here. Sorry, I was not paying attention. I wasn't paying attention at all. I was a little bit sidelined or something. I don't know what happened here. This was round 1. Shane is in his avatar for that. So I think my theory was right. I think my theory. Oh, and it is right. Shane is going for skip, and he does practice. Oh wow, 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 wow. I look away for 2 seconds, and this huge thing just happened. So Shane will be going a little bit cheeky. Oh wow, what? Johnny's ahead of John. Okay, sorry, that thing that was distracting me is settled now, so I can direct my focus back to this match. But wow, round 2, and Shane is, wow. I mean, maybe not the most ethical strategy, but still allowed nonetheless, because technically, per STC rules, if you do formally pre-agree to skipless conditions, you can't break that. However, Shane was deliberately ambiguous about whether or not he's going for skip or skipless, so he is allowed to go for skip, even though it's not the most ethical thing you can do here. And John does acclimatize, does go for skip. However, he doesn't have any practice under his belt for the skip in the practice rounds. John messes up. John messes up. And Shane needs to finish out one more run here, and you have a great average. If Shane can just finish one more run on Crystal, he will take this map. That could be a 2-0 lead for Shane. Honestly, there's a real chance here that Shane could be going up 2-0, which is huge. Absolutely huge. 2-0 deficits are very hard to come back from. They require an enormous amount of mental strength. If Shane takes this map, there's honestly a good chance that he could take this match. And in all honesty, the last 2 matches don't favor him too much. I don't know what he's gonna pull in Shipwrecked, in all honesty, but I think if he could take Enchanted and just get this done with early on, I think at that point he could obviously afford to drop Magma and Shipwreck to John, which aren't necessarily Shane's strongest suits. But here we go, round 4. This is huge for Shane if he makes this. Oh, but he makes it, but John makes the faster skip. John makes the faster skip. That could decide it. And it's, wow. Wow, I'm just in shock, guys. John acclimatizes, hits the faster version skip. It's round 5 here. Will Shane go for John's faster skip method, or will he stick to his roots and just get a good time here? I don't even know. I don't know if John would even have the faster average here if he just goes for that one, honestly. But Shane opts to. Oh, but he messes up. But John will be finishing out 2 runs here, which means John will take Crystal Mine. Shane's plan does backfire, and John finish the better average. If John didn't make that run, he would have been, oh my bad, AFK. If John didn't hit either of those skips, he needed to go for 2 of those fast skips there in order to get the better average. Just looking at the sheet now, John only got a 0.3 advantage from those 2 skips. Before hitting the second skip, he was still behind in the average. So that round 5 was crucial for John. So John could be up 2-0 here. It could be 1-1. I mean, it could be if it's a draw, what is it? It could be 0.5 to 1.5. So honestly, guys, we will be checking touches here as we get into practice 1 of Enchanted Forest. I do favor Shane quite a bit on this map, honestly. It's more of an orthodox skipless map, perhaps what Shane is used to. John is using Steampunk when Enchanted. I'm not sure if you're going to change here. That's an interesting choice. Because with Steampunk, you can't take the faster line in between. I'm not sure if Shane's going to demonstrate. Okay, Shane doesn't go for it. But there is a faster line there that you can use where you go in between the mushroom and the green rabbit. And you're locked out from doing that with Steam. And John is just not doing great here. Like I said, I do honestly favor Shane a little bit on Enchanted. I think John might be switching to a thinner avatar. I don't think he's trusting with the Steampunk, which I don't blame him. If I were John here, I wouldn't want to go for Steampunk either. I would honestly even want to go for that optimization between the rabbit and the mushroom. Yeah, and John does switch to the thinner avatar, which is the right move. Showcases his tournament IQ. Let me check, now that we're on practice 2, let me check Snowy Slopes average. So Shane did have a worse average on Snowy Slopes. John actually did have a full 0.3. He did have 35.9s. I thought he only had 2. I was wrong there. So actually Shane does look a little bit less hopeful on Snowy, but we will have to check touches. Honestly, if John got like a last frame 0.8, and Snowy's not a great map to check touches. The perspective is very questionable, so it will be hard to infer that. But Shane, 25.2 Enchanted looked like a better touch, honestly. I think Shane can take this map, and you know, even if Shane is down 0-2 here, he did talk about he had some tricks prepared. He could pull something crazy on Shipwrecked, you know, and obviously Magma is Magma. Anybody could slope steal basically anything on that map because that map is terribly designed. So, but that's a little bit far away now. Let's focus on Enchanted round 1. Shane will be starting for a little bit of start lag, obviously. Both of them neck and neck here. And John takes a little bit. And Shane falters. Shane falters. And John walks away for 25.2 in round 1. Runs away like the little smurf he is. on Enchanted Forest, backed by his goons of Smurfs. And oh, that's so unfortunate for Shane. Nothing could do there. His steams were locked. That is a huge problem, actually. Probably the biggest problem that this tournament has faced is locked steams. We did see Mal have huge problems with that himself, and Rube as well to an extent, and everybody, honestly. It's a real issue. Very unfortunate for Shane. However, currently we do not offer redos for locked steams. Maybe a discussion worth having. I think Shane has a steam. Oh, no, it's Shane. If Shane loses one more, Shane needs to finish out 3 successful runs in a row here, or else he's gonna lose IGT 3-0 already. So, but anything's possible. We did see Shane do very well in practice. If Shane can just, lock in, get lucky for steams, finish out 3 25.2s here, he's not out of it completely in IGT. But there's a good chance John could be running away with the match here. If Shane fails one more time, John will be taking this match IGT. And he does trail behind John a bit. I think he had a mini slope steal. I could be wrong. But it's not too impactful. And he makes it. That's huge for Shane. Huge. Even though he's behind John here by a little bit. It's not good runs from either of them, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Because the difference is John finished out 2 runs. Shane, on the other hand, that's his first counted run. It's a 25.4 IGT, guys. I really am not super confident for Shane here. And that's really unfortunate. I didn't think the run was that bad, but IGT said otherwise. That's going to be a huge deficit for Shane. Oh, but it's John's turn to miss. It's John's turn to miss, and Shane is on a great run here. Okay, looked like a little bit of end lag, honestly. John now is suffering with seam lock. So honestly, guys, if Shane can get a very strong run on round 5 and John gets another steam lock, it's not out of it for Shane at all. It's really not, because John will be counting that 25.3. It could make all the difference, honestly. But also at the same time, all the pressure is on Shane to finish this run. Do keep in mind Shane failed the mushroom jump twice due to seam locks in his first 2 rounds. So Shane will have to finish out a strong run here. He's forced to in order to stay alive in this IGT match. But he messes up. He messes up, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it for IGT at least, as John will be taking this match IGT. It's a huge blow for Shane. At best here, Shane is looking at a 2-1 deficit. That's a huge blow. But honestly, he's not out of it. It's not over yet. John and Shane could have very easily tied on Snowy. And if Shane is able to take Shipwrecked and Magma, it could be a tied match. So don't write off Shane just yet. But it really will come down to Snowy here, and how well their touches were on Snowy. And like I said, that could be really controversial. I'm already predicting a scandal here, because Snowy touches have historically been very difficult to pin down precisely. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of debate after this match ends about which touch which. Yeah, and the practice 1 here. That's honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if Shane dupes John again. Maybe goes for skipless at first, just to go for skip in the actual round. I wouldn't put it behind Shane to do that after his crystal stunt. And John is going for a very difficult skip here, honestly. I wouldn't call it difficult. The skip is just very annoying. If you've ever gone for the skip, you know what I'm talking about. It has many parts to it. It's very... it's not hard, like the route isn't hard, but to chain everything together fast, it's really it's a nuisance of a route, guys, is what you need to take away. And Shane isn't going for it, which is very surprising. However, like I said, Shane is being a little bit tricky this match, so it is possible that He's just duping John here, maybe tricking John into a sense of security. He did say that he has some tricks up his sleeve, and John is going for skipless now, so maybe John is lured in by Shane's skipless runs in practice here. It was a very strategically smart play for Shane to be ambiguous about whether he's doing skipless or skip. And Shane, you know, hasn't played the skipless since 21.9, but does specify skipless. Makes me wonder if he does have some skip practice under his belt. I think maybe John might be a little bit suspicious of that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shane goes for the skipless in practice and then hits the skip in rounds. That is very much a possibility. And John picks up on that, asks what Shane was practicing. So maybe Shane gave a little bit too much away because John is going for skip now again. So honestly, I think Shane, his mouth might have been a little bit too large. If I were Shane here, I would have wanted to be a little bit more secretive about that. Because it is a strategically smart plan, however, not the type of thing you want to give away to John, who does opt to go for skip now. But John not looking terribly consistent. So maybe Shane will opt to just safety all of it. Honestly, guys, I have no idea where this match is going to go or what Shane has prepared in Shipwrecked. So really, what we're about to see is completely unpredictable at the end of the round one. Let's see what each competitor does. I'm very excited for this map. And Shane goes for skip. But he misses. He misses. He misses. And wow. And these are the tricks that Shane was talking about. And wow. Honestly, not the worst idea from Shane, but just because he failed that round one, he's going to let John know his secrets, and now his initial advantage, his surprise is going to be gone. But honestly, full respect to Shane here. He's played this match very well from a strategical standpoint. He really has delivered with his tricks. This is exactly the type of play. It might not be completely ethical, but sometimes you need to drop the ethics in order to beat somebody like John. So full props to Shane here as we head into round two. Very smart tournament IQ. And John still obstacle for... I don't think John knew that Shane was going for skip. But he misses! He misses! And that's going to be huge for Shane. And John says, sayonara, I don't even need to do skip. He finished out another 21.7. Shane is in another precarious situation again. He needs to get the skip 3 times in a row now. He's forced to. He needs to lock in and get these skips down. Because John's still not doing skip. If Shane can just lock in 3 skip times, he can still take this match. But keep in mind, this is the match on the line now. If Shane does lose this next skip, he will officially have lost his match to John. So let's see what's able to happen. And he knows he has to go for skip. He knows it. And he misses! He misses! And John falters. So technically it's not over. It's technically not over yet. And he realizes now. He realizes that Shane was going for skip. He finally catches on. But it's too late for Shane. And unless there's a catastrophic blunder from John here, then it's going to be Shane who loses this match. And actually, yeah, that's the only way. The only way Shane would win this map now would be if John played absolutely lights out terrible. Like we would need to see like 2 failed skips from John, like 50-second times, in order for Shane to win this match. So honestly, John sees lock in one more time. It looks over for Shane. In all honesty, I think it's safe to say now that Shane has lost his match, and John will be our winner's bracket finalist. Wow. It's too late. It's too late. John goes for the skip. It's not too late to mess up though. But he makes the edge hit. And he doesn't go for the other half of the skip. He just says, sayonara, I'm going to be doing my own thing. And that will be it. And Shane has lost. It will be John who takes this match in a seemingly decisive fashion, honestly. Not all too competitive. I mean, Snowy was competitive, but after that, Crystal Mine could have very easily gone to Shane. John was, you know, credit to John, he was very clutch on Crystal Mine. Maybe derailed Shane's plans a bit. This match would be looking a lot different if Shane was able to win Crystal Mine. But John is just doing a victory lap now on Shipwrecked. Misses, but John says it doesn't matter. And Shane, you know, finishes out a half decent time now, but it's too little too late. And it was a great plan from Shane, but it's just not enough to beat John. Honestly, Shane didn't even play that bad. He almost won Crystal. He could have still tied on Snowy. Those first few rounds weren't bad at all. And then last round was Enchanted. Enchanted as well. Shane's gone lucky with the steams, honestly. With the steam locks. That could have gone either way as well. So it's a disappointment for Shane, but I think Shane should be walking away from this match with a smile because he had a great plan. Some of his map losses were out of his control, in all honesty. And look, Shane could still make the final here because Shane will not only be guaranteed to make the finals of winners bracket, but he will also now be a guaranteed losers bracket finalist because, you know, this is a losers bracket tournament, so Shane will be fast tracking to the last round of the losers bracket, so he will be a double finalist in both brackets. So it's not over for Shane at all. And honestly, I think this was a really positive performance from Shane. John just objectively played a little bit better, but honestly, not much you could have done here if you were Shane. Crystal out of his control, Snowy out of his control, Enchanted out of his control. Shipwrecked, bad playing from Shane, but I mean, the match was already kind of settled by then, so maybe Shane a little bit demotivated. But I think there's more positives than negatives to take away from this match for Shane. And obviously, we do have one more map. Maybe Shane could save some dignity. You know, take a map off John. Make the scoreline 1-4. Not impossible at all. It's not Shane's worst map by any means. I couldn't imagine playing this on mobile, though. I would hate to play this on mobile. But, you know, Shane really did come out of his comfort zone this match. He did come out of his shell. He opted to do skips on Shipwrecked and Crystal. And look, people might talk trash about Shane going for skips on mobile, but honestly, it was the right play. You're playing against John. You're playing against the skipless GOAT. You know after watching his match against Noah that you don't really have much hope for skipless. So Shane going a little bit unethical with the skips is definitely a very, very well thought out plan. So full credit to Shane's plan. I think, like I said, he played this match very well. Just some unfortunate errors and some really good playing from John that enabled John to take this match. And John messes up. And honestly, Shane, even in practice, was looking more consistent than John here. John blames it on the steam lock, though. And Shane's on a great run, though. It's a great run from Shane. Especially for a mobile player, that's incredible. I mean, that already beats my PB. Oh, but Shane bolsters here. I've honestly never seen that mistake before. I don't know what happened. It's a very interesting mistake. I think it's like a rogue mistake. But that one was all in Shane. But let's see. I mean, Magma's just such a terrible map. so many slope steals. It's such a high skill floor to learn this map. So, but John will be tying IGT-wise Shane's first run. So it's still a contentious map. But let's see if Shane's able to overcome that one spot where he keeps falling on round 3. Oh, very interesting. And Shane takes that a lot more safer than John does. Shane does fall behind here. Oh, and he messes up. It's a huge mistake. In the context of Magma, but not necessarily in the match. Oh, John messes up on that ending there. So honestly, if Shane can get 2 more good runs, it's not impossible that he takes this map, but he is forced due to his mistakes to chain together 2 good runs here. And obviously under that much pressure, you know, it's often when contestants falter. Man, Shane on a good run here, but he so much wider than John. Wow, he's taking it so much more safer. Wow, and he doesn't even steam there. He just runs up, but somehow actually gains time when I have no idea how he gained time on John there, but he does bonk the bridge. Oh, and he bonks there, and it's not the best run from John, but it doesn't matter. John looks likely in a position to at least be 4.5 to 0.5ing Shane, depending on the results of Snowy. Probably leaning on the edge right now of a 5-0 victory for John. So this is hugely decisive. John's going to have a huge confidence boost heading in the grand finals. But honestly, don't let the scoreline deceive you. Shane played pretty well. He had a good plan. He had a good mindset. So it's not like a 5-0 mop the floor type of defeat. It's more of a 5-0, just, you know, skill difference, honestly. Oh, and Shane messes up again. I mean, Magma's just such a hard map to play on PC, let alone mobile. And that will be the match. IGT wise, John will be taking this 5-0. But don't be duped, because this was a very entertaining match, a very close match, and a very smart match. So thank you all for tuning in. John will be confirmed as a grand finalist of this tournament, and Shane will be confirmed to have a shot at redemption as the losers bracket finalist. So 2 positives each competitor can take away from this match. So thank you all for watching. We'll be with you soon, hopefully in the next few days with, you know, I believe Vegeta versus Gavin, which will be our last match before we get down to the final 6 of this tournament, because we are entering the later stages. We're going to be down to the last 6 people after Vegeta and Gavin concludes. So that will be very interesting to see as the tournament nears its end. So thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure to commentate, and peace.